Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Nuraniza Kholili from the 5th semester of Department of English Education of UAYN Jakarta. Here, I would like to present the autobiography of Cleopatra written by Dwayne W. Rollers. Here is the cover of the book of Cleopatra. So, this the biography started with the Cleopatra's ancestry and background. As we have seen in here, see, Cleopatra's father was the Ptolemy of the 12th. The Ptolemy the 12th had been on the throne for 10 years until Cleopatra take the throne, and then the identify of her mother was uncertain, but probably she was a member of the Egyptian priestly family of Ptah, and Cleopatra was the second of the 3 daughters and a twin brother. Her oldest sister named Berenike the First, and her younger sister named Ersino the First, while she has a twin brother. The first twin named Ptolemy the 13th, and the last twin named Ptolemy the 14th. The next, we have to talk about the youth and education of Cleopatra. So, for a woman in this period, she was unusually a well-educated woman. As we know that in the past period, woman was usually not really appreciated, especially in education field. As we know that in this period, usually women just expected to work in house, like washing the dishes, cooking, or playing with their children. But Cleopatra here, she was an educated woman, and then she probably studied at the library of Alexandria. As we know that the Alexandria Library was the most famous library in Egypt, and she might be attend lectures at the museum. And as medical writer herself, she might be studied with the physician and pharmacologist of her father's court. And then she has a tutor for a public speaking. Her tutor name is Philostratus. It is noted in the biography that she was a well public speaker. And then she was an intelligent woman because she could speak many languages. Many of them are Ethiopian, Troglodyte, Hebrew, and Arabic, Syrians, Medes, or Parthians. And the Parthians. Actually, there were much more languages that she could choose, like Rome and then Greek. And then the next is after she became a queen. Cleopatra became a queen after her father died. So she took the throne and becoming a queen with her brother Ptolemy the 13th. But because Cleopatra didn't want anyone to interfere with her rule, so a civil war broke out between the siblings. Until the war was still intense until Julius Caesar arrived in 48 before centuries. The coming of the Julius Caesar invoked long-standing legal Roman involvement in Egyptian politics. What the meaning of it is, so in here, it means that when Julius Caesar was coming to the Egypt, he has involved himself in the civil war of the siblings, and in this war he helped Cleopatra to ascend the throne. So Cleopatra was successfully a queen, and she killed her brother Ptolemy the 13th to become a queen. And then Julius Caesar, he stayed in Egypt with Cleopatra in the winter of 48 until 47 before centuries. And in the spring after that, he left after placing her alone in the throne. And after he left to Rome, Cleopatra was actually pregnant with his baby. Caesarion was born in the summer after Julius Caesar was leaving. And then to get Caesarion to be admitted as the heir of the Julius Caesar in 44 before centuries, he went to Rome. But unfortunately, in the same time and then in the same place, Caesar was assassinated. And because she didn't get Caesarion into the next heir of Julius Caesar, she came back to Egypt. And in 42nd before centuries, Marcus Antonius, a general from Rome, summoned her to his headquarters. At first, Cleopatra didn't want to come to his headquarters because she didn't acknowledge him as the general of the Rome. But until a little bit of persuasion, she finally came to his headquarters and became acquainted with Marcus Antonius. And then the next year, Antonius came to Egypt for a personal vacation with Cleopatra in the winter of 41 until 40 before centuries. And in the winter they had a vacation, and in the spring Antonius returned to Rome. And then actually Cleopatra was pregnant again, and this time with Antonius' baby. So after the spring, after Antonius left, Cleopatra bore him a twin in the summer. Actually, Antonius returned to Rome to prepare for the expedition. And then after the expedition, the preparation of the expedition, Antonius come to summon her again to his headquarters. And Cleopatra did come to the headquarters, and she was pregnant again with her last child. And after that, it turned out that the expedition done by Antonius has failed. So, because he felt embarrassed because of his failing expedition, Antonius didn't return to Rome, but he chose to return to Alexandria in Cleopatra's place instead. And after that, in the next year, Antonius finally formalized his relationship with Cleopatra. He married her after he had 3 children with Cleopatra. Finally, he married her in Egypt, leaving a queen in his castle in Rome. And after that, because of the marriage of Antonius and Cleopatra in Egypt, back to the Rome, Antonius has sent Octavian home and living permanently with Cleopatra. Because of that, it caused a family quarrel and a propaganda war. The war was fighting about who is the true heir of Julius Caesar. Because Cleopatra was desperate, her condition is desperate, and she felt that because Cleopatra felt that the Octavian might attack Egypt, she fled to India in hope to prevent the attack of Octavian to Egypt. And she fled to India alone until the war was cooled down. After the war was not imminent again, she came back to Egypt with Antonius. And actually the propaganda war was not cooled down yet. So Antonius became suicidal and desperate, and Cleopatra tricked him into suicide. She might be promising Antonius that she will kill herself too after Antonius killed himself. So Antonius believed Cleopatra and killed himself. But first, Cleopatra didn't mean to kill herself too. But in the end, Cleopatra was realized that she was being saved by an exhibition of Octavian's winning over the Egyptian, so she killed herself too. That's the biography of Cleopatra. I'm sorry for any mistakes. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.